But welcome Ben here, everybody. MC Army. But yeah, do we want to start? Do we want to start off Double D's with the main topic? You and Paul.
I mean that wasn't anything like that big. I just saw one of his posts and he was like talking about. I think he was talking about he was like acting like he was like very conservative in the markets and this is like it was like a very conservative post and then I was just like, okay, well I mean like you did one of the riskiest option plays on NVIDIA and lost a ton of money. Like that doesn't really align with what you're saying here. And I just said that and then you like got angry.
Well, how did it?
Really?
Didn't it start with you? You made a post about inflation.
Inflation. And the
Yeah,
McDonald's
that
Big
was the
Macs are
first one.
$18,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Well, it's because their costs went up and yada yada." Because
Yeah,
you said it was criminal, and he's like, "They're just doing it because it's more expensive." Blah blah blah. But really, they're doing it to increase their bottom line.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not just one or the other. It's a combination of both. But if you look at their bottom line, I mean, it's hitting all-time highs. I just think that fast food is for kind of lower income, or I thought it was, especially McDonald's. And if you're charging that much, like why not just go to like a Texas Roadhouse or something? It's like the same price.
100% agree. Go to Texas Roadhouse. Not
I had a
sponsored.
steak tonight.
So yeah, that's kind of that summed up. I just called him out, and then I don't know. I forgot what he said back. It was a while.
Then there
ago.
was another post. Then it was like a week later. He replied to another post, and then that was when you brought up the NVIDIA short, and I was very proud.
I mean, like NVIDIA. If you just look at the earnings per share, like the stock price, yes, it went crazy, but so did the earnings of the company. So it doesn't make sense to short it. I mean, it would make sense if the company's earnings didn't grow and the stock price just grew off a story, but that's not really what it is. So I don't know.
Yeah, we wouldn't recommend you do it. It's a rabbit hole you don't want to get down.
Yeah. So
options in general.
yeah, he sold calls without having the shares to cover the calls. So he then ended up having to buy shares to cover those calls to close the position.
This is what he said. He said, let's pretend it's the year 2040. We're able to look back at 2024 and see that the top three stocks are worth $9 trillion compared to the US GDP of $27 trillion. And where do we think stocks would go from here? Continued on without a major pullback. I've been saying this for a long time. What would have to exist in the next 16 years to justify today's values that also give market-beating returns to the three biggest companies today? So he acted like very conservative here. Like to me, this sounds like a very conservative tweet.
He always says he's very conservative on his channel. Too.
Yeah, and then I said you shorted NVIDIA and lost a lot of money. For someone who talks all conservative and wise, your actions do not align with your words. And he said, one bad bet out of 20 years and 1,000 apartments and 8 businesses. Nice job finding the one irresponsible decision. And then I just said,
you put "ha" at the end.
I said, I think there are more things. You act very conservative. I was just calling out a hypocritical action. That's all I said. And I don't even know about these 1,000 apartments and 8 businesses. The only one I know is Everything Money Channel. So like,
the businesses and stuff are real. I've looked into it. It's all real.
Yeah, but I mean, for the one action, if like you're gonna make a tweet that sounds very conservative like this, I wouldn't think you would go out and do that as well. That's all I was saying.
It's not his money, to be fair.
Apparently,